You mentioned that you're worried about being kidnapped. What's your feeling so far about like safety?
The guy, says, "Do you want a taxi?" And I'm like, "Well, it's a 9-minute walk. I'm a little behind." So I said, "Hey, is there an ATM on the way?" "Yes, there is." And I'm like, "Okay." Winding roads and hills, and it's like this. It does not.
It's not 9 minutes away.
No. And then I'm looking and I'm like, so am I, do we have a problem here?
Am I being kidnapped?
Yeah, and he had, I'm looking at him and, he did have some ink.
Oh.
It doesn't mean anything, but, it doesn't mean anything. No negative, but gangs have ink. And I'm like, but, he was a nice dude, but, it definitely was on my mind.
So this is Dan of Vagabond Awake, and today I'm lucky to have one of my longest friends in the world. We've been friends for 40 years. Oh my, it's actually like 41 years.
Dude, you are old.
Well, you were like,
I can't believe how old you are.
You were like -10 when we met, right? I had to be introduced to your mom. Yeah.
Wow.
So, do you remember how we met? Like, how did we meet?
I definitely remember.
Okay.
So I answered an ad
right
in the paper. It said, "Help wanted, full or part-time, $20,000 a month. Your own hours, we train." So that's word for word.
Yeah.
And your phone number. And so I'm in college full-time.
Right.
I'm doing the LSAT course.
Right.
Extra. I'm working 25 hours a week.
Wow, that's a full load.
And then I'm looking for something else. It's just, yeah. And so I went in and met you, and it was love at first sight. We hit it off. It was like, wow. It was great.
Yeah,
it was really great.
A lot of good time.
And I dropped out of college and chased the dream. It was awesome.
Oh my
Best
God.
thing I ever did in
Yeah.
retrospect. But I felt the urge to do it so strongly that it was
You weren't ready for college, yeah.
It was against
You were ready to chase the almighty dollar, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I had gotten lit up so good with that job.
Yeah, it was fun. We had good times. And so neither one of us, in case anyone's wondering, at that moment, neither one of us ever made any money. We were in the hole. The thing I attribute Steve for is all the travel that I do now. I mean, I had never, other than with my parents to Mexico once, I had never left the United States when I met Steve. And the first trip we did, do you remember where we went?
We went to the Bahamas, apparently.
We brought our girlfriends with us. And we apparently.
Oh, we brought our girlfriend.
We did, yeah.
Of course we did. Yeah, we weren't going to go alone.
And we went to the Bahamas, and we had a great time. And then a couple years later, you called me up on the phone. By then, I was living on the West Coast again. You were still on the East Coast, and you said, "Let's go to Mexico." And then we were single then. We were both single then, remember?
Yeah.
And we went to a Club Med together, and we had another great time. Just
Playa Blanca.
Playa Blanca, yeah, Club Med.
It was the cheapest one. That's the one we went to.
So I got bit by the travel bug because of this man. So I hold him wholly responsible for everything that's happened ever since.
I didn't do it, Your Honor. I didn't do it.
Plead guilty. You can get a reduced sentence.
Liar!
So where are we right? Where are we sitting? What part of the world are we in?
Bali, Indonesia, man.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. It's awesome.
You enjoying it?
I love it. Oh, I love it.
Now,
I'm so glad.
You've continued to travel this whole time, just like me, and you've been to a lot of places.
Yeah.
And this is your first time in Southeast Asia, isn't it?
Yep.
Why so long? What was it about Southeast Asia that it wasn't high on your list earlier?
I was afraid.
Afraid?
Afraid.
Really?
Yeah, I was afraid. No shit. You heard the questions I was asking you. Should I bring my Apple Watch even? And just getting kidnapped. Oh, and the other, so is getting kidnapped.
Right.
And the language barrier.
Okay.
And that was the biggest
so
thing.
You've been here how long now? How many days or weeks?
I got here Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Today's Saturday.
Saturday, okay. And how many times in the last 4 or 5 days have you been kidnapped?
0.
And
well, actually, every single day by you guys. Voluntarily. You made me drink coffee that was crapped out of some little rat animal.
And you probably think he's kidding, but here in Bali, Indonesia, there's coffee they recycle through what looks like a weasel to me.
Yeah, it's some kind of rodent
and
family
it ferments
thing.
somehow in the intestines, and
yeah.
And we're dumb enough to try it. What did you think of it?
I thought it was just fine. It was like a smoother version of Balinese coffee. So it was Balinese coffee without the bite and as much acid, in my view.
Yeah,
it was fine.
That's how I would
It was
call it
fine.
too. It was fine. So, what are your thoughts about Bali so far? I mean, is this a place you could hang out or not, or what do you feel about it?
I just think it's fantastic. I mean, I just can't believe the people. When I moved to Florida, the first thing that I noticed was the people, how nice the people were.
Right, right.
And it was kind of like, well, it's pretty hard to get pissed about anything when the sun is shining and, you know, you're under the palm trees and the wind is blowing. It's pretty hard to get irritated about stuff.
Right, right.
And, you know, so it's really the people is the biggest thing.
Right.
They're so authentic, and that's the word.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the food's unbelievable, which was a bonus. I wasn't expecting anything. Having traveled where I've gone,
Yeah.
you know, Mexico and these
Europe
places.
and all over the place, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have any expectations. So,
Right.
and that's, you know, when you don't have any expectations, a lot of times you're pleasantly surprised. But, you know, there's a real shortage of Asian food, good Asian food in St. Petersburg, Florida, where I live.
Right.
And so I quadruple appreciate this, and it's just fantastic.
So you're talking about local Balinesian food, right?
Yeah.
That's mostly what we've been eating here.
Yeah.
And you've been impressed with it.
Yeah, and great. And so I've been eating Indonesian food every single day, everything I can possibly get.
Yeah, yeah.
But now I'm kind of, well,
Branching out a
after
little.
3-4 days, it's like, yeah, let's go get a pizza. Let's have Italian.
And what did you think of the pizza last night?
I was amazed it was as good as it was.
Yeah, it was delicious.
It was good.
And then this morning I had like a hollandaise, spinach hollandaise, what do they call it?
Eggs Benedict.
Yeah, and eggs Benedict. It was delicious.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was
crazy.
Yeah.
Still, how much is the price and in the package?
Yeah, so how, the Balinese food, does it seem expensive to you or reasonable or?
I don't know. I'm a business guy and I just don't, the math doesn't work for me. Like, I don't know how they can afford, the prices can be as low as they are. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But,
Yeah.
and you know, like, and it was $10 and that was expensive for here.
Yeah, that was our most expensive meal was a $10 eggs
Breakfast.
Benedict, yeah.
And that's because there was a alcoholic drink that came with it.
Right, and that was, but the local meals are like $2-3 a meal, aren't they? I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, like, well, great example. I went to get some cash out of the cash machine.
Right.
And I'm still, you know, I'm terrible with numbers. Like, I'm the horrible blackjack player because I can't count fast enough, you know. And so I always ask the dealer, okay, just tell me what it is. Tell me what the numbers is, you know. And so I'm thinking, well, $1 million, that ought to be good. $1 million.
$1 million rupiah.
Yeah, and I'm like, and then I get it out, and I'm like, well, that doesn't seem very thick. That's not a very big stack. It's probably not enough. So I went and got another $1 million. And then when I got to you, you were like, yeah, $1 million is $65.
And it lasts. It'll last for a day or two. It's crazy.
You know, I'm thinking that you guys keep giving me cash and I keep charging. I'm gonna have to start paying cash, and I might give you this money back by the time I leave because it's starting to add up. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Even the taxis are just no money.
Yeah, it's really surprising to me how little that we're spending here. So you're in Southeast Asia. Do you think you'll visit other countries while you're here?
For sure, yeah. I mean, you don't travel 42 hours door to door and go right home, and that's for sure.
I've
spent whatever huge amount of money to get over here, and yeah, it's like, wow, it's so cheap here, except for the $10,000 that it costs to get over here.
Yeah, of course.
So all in, I'm still, it's a really expensive trip.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I could have come over here and it'd be U.S. prices or Mexican. You know, you go to these resorts in Mexico, it's freaking fortune.
Yeah.
You know, they are charging like
the nice
it's
ones
going
are
to stop.
super expensive. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So you're here now. Which other ones do you think you'll see?
I'm going to Thailand for sure. The Philippines for business.
Right.
And to see it.
Right.
Laos.
Okay.
Laos. My buddy's in Laos.
Right,
I haven't seen him in 25 years. So.
Yeah. He sailed around the
hang with
South
him.
Pacific with the guy he's going to see in Laos.
Yeah, and I haven't seen him, since we were
then.
in Australia together.
Oh, wow. If you were going to say there was something that surprised you here, what would you say the surprise has been?
There's so many English speakers here.
Right.
You know, so there's no problem communicating, a little bit, but really generally none.
Right.
You know, the prices being as low as they are, and the food as good as it is, and the restaurants, as we were talking about last night, they're just Western enough, but not too Western.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they're not trying to recreate, you know, and make you think that you're in Italy when we went to eat the pizza at the Italian place. It's
Right,
just,
right.
it's just great, man. They really do a good job with a
Yeah.
lot of stuff.
And with a smile on their face.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you're worried about being kidnapped. What's your feeling so far about like safety?
You know, you said bring what you want, you know, don't dress differently. What I compare is, you know, like the stories I've heard in Mexico, and I've been to Guatemala a lot, and it is legit dangerous there. So I'm thinking,
Especially in Guatemala City, but
Yeah,
but not like in Antigua. But anyway, go ahead.
no, Antigua, no,
Yeah,
it's not. It's not.
Right.
So I just figured that I just assumed it would be dangerous. You know,
Yeah.
that there's places all over the world that are dangerous, and third world countries. In my experience, it's just you can go down the wrong street, and you can go down the wrong street in Tampa.
Yeah, exactly.
The guy, you know, says, "Do you want a taxi?" And I'm like, "Well, it's a 9-minute walk. I'm a little behind." Or no, it's a 12-minute walk. I'm a little behind. And hey, I'll give him the business, help him out.
Yeah.
And so I tell him where I'm going, and he misunderstands where we were going.
Right.
So he thought, I forget where we were going, but
Mango. You
he
said
thought we were going to Mango.
we were going to mingle.
And we going to mingle, and
Yeah.
I showed him that, but I don't think he reads that well.
Okay. Okay.
So I said, "Hey, is there an ATM on the way?" "Yes, there is." And I'm like, "Okay." And so then we're going, and we go to the ATM. We're going, and then I'm going down these winding roads and hills, and it's like this. It does not.
It's not 9 minutes away.
No. And then I'm looking, and I'm like, "So am I? You know, do we have a problem here?"
Am I being
Yeah,
kidnapped?
and he had, and you know, I'm looking at him, and you know, he did have some ink.
Oh.
You know, it doesn't mean anything, but you know, it doesn't mean anything. No negative, but gangs have ink. And I'm like, but you know, he was a nice dude, but you know, it definitely was on my mind. Or is there going to be a thing that's
Okay,
going to
okay,
happen here?
okay.
But you know, I just didn't really get that from him.
Right. Right.
And in the end, he was just completely embarrassed, totally embarrassed and he goes, "Well, you said mango. And I thought, okay, so now he's going to be, you know, blaming me and
Right,
all this
yeah.
and that. But no, he didn't. You know,
Yeah.
he was really embarrassed. And when he got me there finally, he didn't even ask for any money. He didn't even ask for any money because they have honor and they have pride and they're not trying to rip you off. Like, you know, there are parts of other countries where you are like you are a mark.
Yeah, yeah.
And as soon as you step off that flight,
Yeah.
it's $100 taxi ride.
Yeah, of course.
$100.
Oh, yeah. A lot of airports to leave is crazy.
Oh yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
it's a gig that they have. You know, it's all
Yeah.
it's a setup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not here. It was 28 euros. It was like an hour and 20 minutes.
To get from the airport to your hotel. Yeah.
In a perfectly fine modern car.
Yeah.
28 euros.
Yeah.
It's like,
hour and a half drive.
Yeah.
Do the math on that.
I
mean,
know.
crazy.
I'm like, I couldn't figure it out. And then this guy, the driver, real nice guy, and he goes, hey, if you want to be driven around, I'll drive you around tomorrow wherever you want to go for $35 all day.
All day.
How is this possible? You know, because gas is about $4.40 or $4.50 a gallon.
Right.
And he's got his auto expenses.
Sure.
And then, oh, by the way, he's got
He
to
wants
make a
money.
living.
He has to
He's
eat,
got
right?
he has a family. You know, he has mouths to feed. Just don't know how he gets
Yeah,
done.
it's just a
I don't
different
get it.
world. It's a different world. It's hard to. It's their world. We just come here and enjoy it and just be nice to people. And it's just they're setting the price, right? We're not.
You just don't have any kind of stress of danger or getting ripped off.
Yeah.
You know, there's places where it's like, oh really? It's $100 for that.
Yeah.
So to a local, it'd be 12.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's great.
and I hate that struggle. You
Yeah,
don't have
so
that here.
It sounds like you're going to be back to Bali at some point. And we're in 𝗂𝐵𝐿, by the way, people. It's up in the mountains. It's a little cooler. You can see all the greenery here. We'll show you in other videos. But I love this place. What do
It's
you-
awesome.
It's so awesome.
It's just so cool.
The
Well, I've been
food, the
joking
soup.
around that I'm staying. That's it. I'm staying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to see you. I don't think I've seen you in 10 years. I think last time I saw you, it was your house in St. Pete. so-
2012.
Yeah, 2012. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's good. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're going to be coming out more after this trip. Well, I'm sure we'll be running into you more. So.
Yeah, now that the cherry is broken, you know, I am. It is on, baby.
Right
It
on,
is
Chief.
on.
Thanks so
All
much.
right, man.
It's great
Yeah,
to have
that's-
you here.
yeah,
Thanks so
great.
much.
Yeah.
Hey, if you liked our video, please like, comment, or subscribe. Any of that would help our business. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Click the link in the notes below this video to get a copy of this content. Plus, grab a free copy of my ebook, How I Fired My Boss and Traveled the World for 13 Years. While you're there, check out our catalog of retired cheap reports all over the world and our hobby income course that we just released. Thanks so much.